All right, this is a big week for San Diego State. I mean, it's really all the games are big for the Aztecs as we're into February, heading towards March, conference tournament time and beyond. Chris Acker is with us, San Diego State assistant. Tuesday night, that's tomorrow night against Colorado State at 6 p.m. at Viejas Arena. Our pregame coverage is going to begin at 5, and then New Mexico is here as well on Friday evening. So, Coach, we always appreciate it. I guess we'll start with Friday against Nevada and look ahead. What do you learn here? I mean, opportunities obviously late in regulation, in overtime as well. What are the takeaways from Friday? How do you make sure not to obsess over it, learn from it, and look ahead?
Well, first of all, appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
You learn from just watching the film, and you try to correct some things, but you make sure the guys know that the effort plays or lack thereof are unacceptable. We got to close out games with the ball in our hands when we have an opportunity to get a rebound. So you show them those things, you show them what it looks like from teams in the past, and then you just get them focused on those areas, and then you shift gears and you start talking a little bit more about Colorado State as we move forward and focus on what's ahead.
Coach, do you feel like you guys are heading into your biggest stretch of the season right now? Because, you're facing Colorado State, then New Mexico, huge game at home, and then Utah State. Do you feel like this is the biggest stretch of your season coming up here?
Yeah, absolutely, because we put ourselves in a great position. I mean, if you'd asked me a couple of weeks ago, that was the biggest stretch. And so now going into this stretch, putting ourselves in position to control our own destiny, it's not only important, but it's essential that we lock in and we take care of business and really ultimately hold down our home court.
Chris Acker is with us right now, San Diego State assistant. Again, the Aztecs get Colorado State tomorrow. How much, when you play a team a second time in conference, is about looking back at what happened in game one? Like, how much does that film apply, game one against CSU, to what's going to happen tomorrow night?
You take a lot from that. Certain areas that we thought we could have did a better job of, whether it's scheme-wise or whether it's just, effort-wise, and just attention to detail, certain things. You look at those things and you really work hard on those essential things. And then you look at, some of the things that they're doing now that may be a little bit different than they were doing then. Whatever their emphasis are now, where they're trying to put the ball at, who they're trying to get the ball to, and those things. And you just try to make your adjustments. But ultimately, after you've played against a team already one time and both teams have great familiarity of each other, it comes down to who wants it more, who's going to play the hardest, who's going to lock in to the details, and, what we value as far as winning championships. We understand that that's on the line, and that's where we're going to come in with that type of mentality tomorrow night.
Have you ever remembered a Mountain West being like this tight at the top of the conference where you have so many teams vying for a regular season championship?
No, I can't remember it being like this. It's always good competition in the Mountain West. There's always, everybody's always competing, and, there's always a chance of multiple teams getting that large bid to the NCAA tournament. But as far as on pace to win a championship, I don't think I've ever seen it like this.
Is this what you and the team would prefer, as opposed to a year where there's maybe one dominant team? And oftentimes over the years, that has been San Diego State. Is it preferred to have all these opportunities, but also all these challenges night in and night out, where you got 4, 5, 6+ teams vying for the NCAA tournament?
Well, obviously you want to play everybody at their best, and you want to play against the best competition. And so a lot of times you get that in the non-conference, and then you segue into conference, and you feel like, there's a little bit of a drop off here and there. But we'd rather play against the best competition night in and night out. And it just so happened that it's in our league this year. And so, every night's a challenge. We've lost games, we've won games, but, there is no night off. And so that's what makes it exciting. And that's what conference tournaments and conference games in general is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be teams that know each other, that have familiarity with each other, going after it and trying to accomplish the ultimate goal and winning the conference championship.
You guys had some new starting lineups here recently of late. How do you think the guys are responding to that? And do you guys think that you guys will maybe change it up a little more going down the stretch here, or keep things the same?
Well, I mean, I think our guys, we got a great group of guys, and I think ultimately they want to do whatever it takes to win games. And so, when you come in and out of the lineup, whatever you're feeling, if you're about winning, you make that adjustment internally and you give the team everything you can give to help them win the basketball game that night. And so I think our guys have done a great job answering the call. Guys that were starting that are coming off the bench now, they've made their adjustments and they're trying to figure out ways to impact winning. As a coaching staff, we're trying to figure out what's the best formula for this team, and we're going to continue to do that throughout the course of the season. So as we move through this and we continue to play against these teams and get more familiar on the second side of playing against them, we'll keep making our adjustments as need be.
Chris Acker with us right now. San Diego State, Colorado State tomorrow at Viejas at 6 p.m. Pregame coverage at 5 p.m. Huge game in the Mountain West. We've talked about Jaden obviously a lot, Coach, with you, Jaden Ledee, and the way he's being defended and how, earlier in the season he wasn't drawing doubles like this. It seems like every time he touches the ball, or more often than not, he draws that hard, quick double team. What are the adjustments he has made? What are the adjustments the team has made? And how do you rectify the way he's being defended right now in the Mountain West?
Well, you just try to put, first of all, you try to put a system around him that allows him to make his life easier for him to be able to see where guys are. So we try to tweak things and make adjustments game to game and put the guys in the best position to be successful. He's handled it extremely well because, he knows that it's coming. And so, although he's had some I think last game he had 7 turnovers, he is trying to find guys and he's trying to figure out where the doubles are coming from. So it just comes down to watching more film and getting more clarity on where his passes are going to be, where he can make those passes on time, on target, so guys can catch and shoot or drive closeouts. But deservingly so. I mean, he is, to me and to our staff and to our program, he's an All-American, and he's the best player on the floor night in and night out. So, he's embracing that, and I think our guys are embracing that. But we just try to find different ways to get him the ball, not just throwing it from the wing inside to him, but also throwing it from the top where it's much tougher to double him. And when he does catch it from the top, he's more than willing to throw it out, which makes our team a threat from the three-point line. So that's our best way of getting the paint touch is throwing him the basketball, and we're going to continue to do that.
Coach, before you go, I thought the home crowd in the last home game at Viejas was like as good as it gets. I mean, that Utah State game, the crowd was it felt as if the crowd was valuable. I know Dutch has talked about that as well. What is the impact? You're seeing it home and road. You're playing games, obviously, at Viejas. You're taking on opponents on the road as well. What is the value of the crowd support that you get at Viejas night in and night out?
Well, I mean, to me, it's the best crowd in the country. I mean, I've been in a lot of arenas, and I just feel like our fan base is tremendous, and they've supported us whether we've won or whether we've lost. The true fans have been there, and what it gives you is just an edge. You understand when you have a crowd like that, you're playing for not just San Diego State, you're playing for the city of San Diego, and for all the hardworking people out there to spend their money to come watch us play and watch us compete. You're playing for them, and you're playing for the name across your chest. And so, it's just exciting to walk in that arena and feel the electricity in there and to listen to the show and just feel the student section. It just gives you an adrenaline rush and just makes it so that, you feel like even when things may not be going well, they can turn around in an instant. And that's all because of the great fan base that we have that's constantly engaged throughout the course of the game. So, we need everybody to show up. We won't be able to get this stretch done without you. So if you're listening, please come out to Viejas Arena and watch us take on Colorado State on Tuesday and then take on New Mexico on Friday.
Huge week, no question about it. Aztec fans, 6 o'clock start tomorrow as well. So plan for that. Get there early. Be loud, as you always are, for San Diego State and Colorado State. Chris Acker, Coach, we appreciate it as always. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll catch up again down the road. So thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, Chris Acker.